you're watching Just the News. I'm Amita Balachandra. Let's get straight to it. The top story is the Karnataka's anti-conversion bill that was passed in the assembly today. It's called the Karnataka Right to Freedom of Religion Bill 2021, and it was passed amid severe opposition in the assembly. It was passed by voice vote. Now, there was a war of words between Karnataka Minister J.C. Madhuswamy and former Chief Minister of Karnataka, Siddaramaiah. Now, J.C. Madhuswamy, speaking on the bill, said that the Social Welfare Department was the one who first drafted the bill against forced conversions, and that the BJP has only, and I quote, added some elements to it. He said, and I quote, the then Chief Minister, referring to Siddaramaiah, had told the Law Commission to prepare a draft bill. The draft bill was prepared and the draft bill was scrutinized, end quote. Now, to this, former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah did not take it too well. He said, and I quote, the bill was never introduced, discussed, or passed in the cabinet meeting. The draft prepared in 2016 is completely different from what the current state government has drafted in 2021, end quote. Now, the bill aims to prohibit unlawful conversion from one religion to another by misrepresentation, force, undue influence, coercion, allurement, or by any fraudulent means. Now, this has drawn severe opposition from activists, from legal experts, from citizens, and the opposition party in the state of Karnataka, who have voiced several concerns with the bill. And this is what the bill has been criticized for its harsh penalties. Now, for violating the proposed law, the bill states it includes a jail term of 3 to 5 years and a fine of 25,000 rupees in the case of people from general categories, and a jail term of 3 to 10 years and a fine of 50,000 rupees for those converting minors, women, or persons from SC/ST communities. In the meantime, there was also a protest that was taken out on Wednesday by hundreds of people from at least 40 socio-political organizations against this bill. Moving on from that story now, a man was killed in an explosion in the district court complex in Ludhiana, Punjab, today. At least 5 people have been injured in this particular explosion. Now, according to NDTV, the blast took place at around 12:22 p.m. inside a bathroom on the second floor of this building. Now, the explosion damaged the walls of the bathroom, according to several reports, and ripped through a section of the building, besides shattering glass in nearby rooms as well. Now, Chief Minister Charanjit Channi has said that the blast was carried to disrupt law and order in the city ahead of assembly polls. Now, interestingly, the building is very close to the Deputy Commissioner of Police's office in the heart of Ludhiana city. Investigations are focusing now on how the explosives were smuggled into the court complex despite security. A team of NIA, or National Investigative Agency, has been sent to the blast site. Also in the news now, Union Minister of State for Home Nityanand Rai has informed the Rajya Sabha on Wednesday that 4,690 people were arrested in different parts of India under the Unlawful Activities Preventions Act, which is called the UAPA, between 2018 and 2020. Now, Mr. Rai also said, and I quote, out of 4,690 arrests, 149 were convicted, end quote. Now, as many as 1,421 people were arrested in 2018, 1,948 in 2019, and 1,321 in 2020. In the meantime, the Haryana government has amended its Excise Act, paving the way for lowering the legal age for consumption of liquor from 25 years of age to 21 years of age. Now, the national capital of Delhi also recently reduced the age limit to 21 years. The bill said, and I quote, people now are more educated and participating in new endeavors and also can take rational decisions when it comes to responsible drinking, end quote. An update now on what's happening as far as the Omicron cases are concerned in the country. Now, the centre, as of today, has asked respective state governments on considering to impose COVID restrictions ahead of Christmas and New Year's. Now, we know that a couple of states like Karnataka, Maharashtra, Delhi, Tamil Nadu have already imposed restrictions for New Year's Eve. Goa, interestingly, has not made an announcement as yet. Prime Minister Modi, in the meantime, held a review meeting at 6:30 p.m. today on the COVID situation in the country. The details of that meeting is not out yet. Also in the news, the Haryana government has said that it will be mandatory to be fully vaccinated to go get an entry into public places starting the 1st of Jan 2022. Now, only fully vaccinated people will be allowed in government offices, bus stands, railway stations, shopping malls, cinema halls, and banks. In the meantime, Punjab government employees will not get their salaries, according to the government of Punjab, if they don't submit vaccine certificates. Also, making an announcement, Union Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has said that 60% of the eligible population in India is now fully vaccinated. Earlier, the centre had promised that 100% of eligible population will be fully vaccinated by the end of the year. The vaccination drive had, if you remember, started on the 16th of January this year. An update also on the cases of Omicron. India has reported 236 cases of Omicron as of this morning. 7,495 new COVID cases and 434 deaths have been reported in the country in the last 24 hours. Also, according to AFP, the UK has reported more than 1 lakh daily COVID cases on Wednesday for the first time since the pandemic began. Now, the UK is one of the worst affected countries in Europe with a record surge of COVID cases. It has reported over 11 million COVID cases till date. Meanwhile, South Korea has reported a record 109 deaths from COVID in just one day, the deadliest since the pandemic has begun. Now, it reported 6,919 new COVID cases as of Wednesday. A record number of 1,083 people have been admitted to the hospital with serious symptoms and in critical condition. And this is a report according to the Associated Press. Also in the news, US FDA, or Food and Drug Administration, has issued an emergency use authorization for Pfizer's Paxlovid for the treatment of COVID-19 in adults and pediatric patients, which is 12 years of age and older. And this is a report according to CNN, which has said that it is the first antiviral COVID pill that has been authorized for ill people to take at home before they get sick enough to be hospitalized. Now, according to Pfizer, the treatment cut the risk of hospitalization or death by 89% if given to high-risk adults within a few days of them showing symptoms. Meanwhile, Nigeria has destroyed on Wednesday over 1 million doses of expired AstraZeneca COVID vaccines in a bid to assure the public that they've actually taken some action and has been taken out of circulation. Now, this comes more than a week after authorities said that some doses donated by rich Western nations had a remaining shelf life of just a matter of weeks. And according to Reuters, a report that said on 7th of December said that about 1 million COVID-19 vaccines were estimated to have expired in Nigeria in November without being used. An update now in the world of business. According to India Hurun Global Unicorn List 2021, the country has added 33 unicorns or billion-dollar startups this year, taking its total to 54. Now it has the third highest number of unicorns after the USA and China. On to international news right now. A famous statue at the University of Hong Kong marking the Tiananmen Square massacre has now been removed, and this is according to a report by the BBC, which has said that the 8-meter tall pillar of shame by the Danish sculptor Jens Galschiot showed piled up corpses to commemorate pro-democracy protesters killed by the Chinese authorities in 1989. Now, it was one of the few remaining public memorials in the territory commemorating the crackdown. The BBC reported a statement that was put out by the university which said, and I quote, The decision on the aged statue was based on external legal advice and risk assessment for the best interest of the university. The university is also very concerned about the potential safety issues resulting from the fragile statue. End quote. On to sports news right now. India has defeated Pakistan 4-3 in the third place playoff in the 2021 Men's Asian Champions Trophy hockey in Bangladesh to bag a bronze medal. Now, South Korea were the winners after beating Japan. It was India's second victory against Pakistan in the tournament. And one piece of good news before we wrap up this bulletin: New Town Kolkata Development Authority is developing micro gardens in different places across New Town that earlier used to be waste dumping grounds. Now, to use green technology in these gardens, the NKDA is using solar power operated pumps for gardening and water purpose. Now, the patches of garden, better known as green verges, are being adopted by NGOs and social welfare organizations for developing greenery and proper maintenance. That brings us to the end of this bulletin. Thank you so much for watching.